So you clicked on this 3-hour video, which means you're in it for the long haul. If you're like me, then you may feel overwhelmed every single day about the mess and the chaos that goes on in your house. Sometimes when we get too overwhelmed, we do nothing and make excuses. But that is one thing we are not going to do today. I was watching this reel from the Instagram Law of Manifestation 777, and they asked the question, do you have a 30-second or less trick that people can do to increase their mental strength? And what the person he was interviewing said is what inspired today's video. He said, if you're overwhelmed and worried about a lot of things, then write down everything you're worried about on a piece of paper. Next, cross out all the things you can't control and deal with the things you can. So everything that we can control, we're gonna make happen today, and I'm gonna keep you company along the way. If you're new here, then welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a mom of 3, and just because someone can have a nice house doesn't mean that it's perfect all the time. If you struggle to keep it together all the time, then I get you. I understand you because I've been through it. So today's marathon video is a video of basically 6 shorter videos all put together into one long video. So this was not done in a single day, but over the period of several months. So from doing some dirty deep cleaning underneath my bed to finding random animals in our outdoor kitchen to organizing some horrible spaces such as our coat closet and getting new appliances, because it seems like over Christmas time, almost all of our appliances went out, then that's what you'll be seeing a lot of in today's video. If you feel like any time during this video it's been helpful, then go ahead and click that little thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed, then I would love for you to click that subscribe button and be a part of this awesome community. But anyway, let's pick an area that you've been avoiding for quite some time and go ahead and tackle that today. But let's go ahead and get started.
I got this boy on my mind that I can't live without. Oh, his eyes are killing me. And he keeps talking about everything that he likes, and I can't stop listening. I'm thinking about him all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time, all the time. And my heart's beating fast when he's looking like that. Oh, his smile is killing me. It's the way that he moves and the way that he laughs, so I can't get enough. Thinking about him all the time. I can't get him off my mind. Oh, I want him to be mine, to be mine. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him now, 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 now. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts, when it starts.
Deep cleaning is my least favorite type of cleaning. I only do it when it's absolutely necessary or I'm forced. And in today's video, that's a combination of both. We're going to start off by cleaning underneath the bed. We are getting a new mattress, and then my washing machine broke, so we had to get a new washing machine as well. And then I'll move on to the living room, clean up our dirty living room, couch, floor, all the things. You can see in the intro of this video just how bad it got. Clearly, I don't do it often enough, but that's why we're here today. So let's just jump in today, starting in the bedroom. I'm going to take everything off the bed, get everything washed. And they say that you're supposed to replace your mattress every 7 years. And for us, it's been a little over 8 years. So I did want to thank Lowell for sponsoring today's video. And we absolutely love our new Lowell mattress. This is our first mattress from them, but ordering it online made it super easy. It came within just a couple of days, and it is a bit heavy only because it is made from quality material. The setup process was super simple. All we had to do was unroll it from the plastic, lay it on the bed frame, and let it expand. We went with the Luxe Hybrid mattress in the king size, which does have a balanced, medium firm construction that does adapt to the body shape and sleep style that fits just for you. So it does have that perfect fit of comfort and support. What I love about Lul is that they also have a 365 night stress-free trial, free shipping, easy returns, and a lifetime warranty on the mattress. So I am a very light sleeper, and I do typically toss and turn all night long, switching from my side to my back to my stomach, or whatever feels the most comfortable at that time. Now, the first night that we slept on the Lul mattress, I did not wake up a single time throughout the night. After a couple days, I've noticed that I've been able to get more consistent sleep throughout the night. So we are really glad that we chose Lul. So after you set it up, it does take a couple of hours to fully expand. So we're just having a little bit of fun relaxing on the bed until it fully expands. For any of their premium memory foam mattresses, they are at a comfortable price, and you can get up to $700 off your Lul mattress using the link in my description box below. After all, we do spend a third of our life sleeping on a mattress, unless you're a new mom, but be sure to take advantage of this offer. All right, so let's back everything up for just a minute and get to deep cleaning underneath our bed. So this is where we initially started. Before we got the new mattress, we're picking up the old mattress and the box springs, and we are cleaning underneath this bed. I'm always terrified that I'm going to pick up the mattress once in every 3 years that we actually do this, and there's going to be like dead bugs all under here. Luckily, there wasn't, thankfully, and there was just a lot of hair and dust. So the problem with this bed is that it is not easy to undo it all and actually get to it and clean it up. You have to unscrew every single one of those wooden pieces, roll up the whole thing, and then you can actually get to it and get it all vacuumed up. So I called Chris to come home during the day to unscrew everything, help me with the mattress, help me with under the bed so that we could get it cleaned up.
Club will go all night. I see you in the back, the mood is right. If I just had your number, I would let you know how I feel. You walk up to me, start dancing to the music, energies like this was meant to be. Take my hand, I feel my heart beat, and I don't want this moment to stop. To go home, don't want this night to end. Yeah, about time we stop pretending. Come home with me, let's write a history. Tonight I'll make you see it's all about us. It's all about us. As we're dancing close together, making out. It's all about us. It's all about us. There's a magic in your eyes, can't get enough. Touching me around my neck, got chills down my back. You do it right, the way you're holding me. No, I don't want this moment to stop. No need to fight it, I cannot hide it. We won't regret it, so come with me, maybe.
So I am vacuuming everything up. I'm using the Tenco cordless vacuum, and I don't know if you noticed, but I keep kind of checking it because I'm vacuuming it up and it's almost like it's not vacuuming or the pieces are coming out of it. And I thought it was because like the end piece was clogged, but later on Chris is like the whole thing is clogged up. So by vacuuming this with the cordless vacuum, I clogged up the whole vacuum and it started like spitting out dust instead of sucking up the dust. So if that ever happens to any of your Tenco vacuums, just be sure to check not only the end part of it, but also the part like right there. So Chris pulled it out and he found the issue is that that whole piece was clogged from just the amount of dust that was in our room. But once we got all of this cleaned up, then it vacuumed everything perfectly. I'm also kind of rushing this up a bit because I asked him to come home from work and he's like, I can't be here all day helping you. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to hurry up, get this cleaned up. And then once we get the mattress and the bed back together, then you can go on your way. So that also being said, instead of pulling out my wet vac and everything, I just grabbed an e-cloth and got it wet. And then I'm just going to kind of clean up the wall right here and then wipe everything down with just this cloth.
Kinda simple, kinda wishful about things. And you're kinda simple, but like a pistol, you fire.
So once we have everything cleaned up, we will put the bed back together and I'll fast forward putting the mattress on again.
Come back 'cause you'd rather stay out with another, talking to strangers and make out spontaneously. Now I'm so tired of hearing all your stories about the drunk nights, bragging in the glory. You're such a nice guy when you're not.
Next, I'm going to move on to the laundry room. And I had just got done doing like 5 loads of laundry, if you saw that video a couple of weeks ago. And then in the middle of drying, I started getting this error that said AE6. And I keep trying to restart it, unplug it, turn it off, turn it back on. I had Chris kind of come and look at it, and I Googled what does this error mean, and it just basically said like it's a communication error with the main board. So what I did was I called this repair guy to come out and take a look at the washing machine, which I have had him come out and fix our dryer twice before. And these washing machines are 8 years old. I think everything in our house is 8 years old because that's when we moved in. But they were manufactured in 2015. So he basically came out, looked at it, and said, you basically need a new washing machine. He said, I can repair it. I need to buy a new board. And that board is $750, but with labor and everything, it would come out to like $1,100. And I was like, nope, I can buy one for cheaper. So that's exactly what we did. If you do follow me on Instagram, a couple of weeks ago, I did ask what was your like most recommended washer and dryer, because we couldn't decide if we were going to buy the set, even though our dryer was still good, or just go ahead and buy the washing machine first. So the top 3 recommendations from all of you guys was LG, Whirlpool, or Speed Queen. The repair guy also told me to get an LG. He told me do not get another Samsung. He's surprised that my Samsung lasted this long. Although I've never had, besides just a couple of times, I've never had issues with Samsung until now, but it is like wear and tear. It is a pretty old washing machine. So I don't know. So leave me a comment down below. What do you guys use? What type of washing machine and dryer do you have? What brand do you have? And do you like it? But for now, we have the washing machine out. So I'm going to clean behind the washing machine and get all of the dirt and dust picked up before we order our new washer.
When you were leaving, I need you even more than I did before. You had the last word when you walked out the door. You drive me crazy, I want you to stay here. Now I'm here alone, I hate this party and I don't know anyone. We get drunk and we fight, but I forgive you, although you drive me crazy, I want you to stay here. You'll be the death of me still, you're my medicine. Yeah, I need you, I need you. You light my fire just to put me out again. Still I need you, I'm weak for you. Yeah, you
So whenever I make bigger purchases, I like to shop around and look at the reviews and look at the ratings and see which model is the best and do all of this stuff. But I needed to wash clothes like that day. So we went to Best Buy, talked to the salesperson a little bit. I asked you guys on Instagram different brands that you prefer, and we ended up making a decision that day. We went ahead with an LG washing machine, and we were going to buy the set, and I decided not to. And originally we thought we could just place the LG washing machine directly onto that pedestal, but it didn't work. It was a little bit too long for the ones we have. So my next step will be to buy the pedestals for it and also to buy the matching dryer. We just didn't right then and there, just in case like it went on sale later, but ultimately we probably should have done it. But there is this like washing machine pedestal that goes under the washer, and it's to wash delicate clothes only. And it's just very small. Now, if any of you guys have it, let me know if it's worth it. Like, should I just buy the regular storage pedestal, or should I buy that mini washing machine pedestals for delicate clothes? So basically you can wash regular clothes and then just a small cycle of delicate clothes at the same time. I'm still up in the air about that, so I'd love your opinions and recommendations below. That was one of the best rated washing machines, and there was two different sizes, a 4.5 cubic square foot as well as the 5.0 cubic square foot. And just real quick, I'm going to deep clean this whole living room. The couch has food all over it. We don't eat on the couch, but I'm sure my kids sneak a few snacks here and there, and then it ends up rubbing all over the couch. So that's what I'm going to work on today. But we ended up going with the 4.5 cubic square foot washing machine because I wanted to get the bigger one, but the salesperson, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I'm showing that, but my dog does have accidents every day, and we do use disinfectant to get the floors kind of picked up here real quick. But we went with the smaller one because the sales guy told us that really it's not that much bigger, and you could probably just wash like one extra bath towel in that load. So he kind of said it wasn't worth it, so we just went ahead with what he said and got the one that was the 4.5 cubic foot.
Isn't this the good life? Sitting on the front porch, sipping on the rocks, citrus in our beverages, citrus in our beverages, show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering our faces. You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. On and on it goes, round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute, taking my time to begin with. On and on it goes, swinging down in life, you know. Breathing out air for a minute, yeah. Hey, would you rather stay right here, make everything disappear? Could play my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on.
So as I'm getting all of this cleaned up, I was listening to a podcast. It's the Earn Your Happy podcast from Lori Harder, and she interviewed Natalie Ellis, her podcast is Boss Babe. And they were talking more about how to be productive and managing your to-do list. Now, I talked about your to-do list a couple of videos ago and how I'm kind of a fan of a priority list, making sure you are working on your priorities first. But she had this really amazing concept of how to get a lot done and kind of manage your to-do list a bit better. And I wanted to share that with you. And real quick, there's chocolate on this cushion seat. So that's like this stain remover that I found on Amazon. So if you're a busy mom with lots to do and there's a lot of things on your to-do list and you are definitely a to-do list type person, she says break your to-do list down into 4 Ds. And your first one is your do list. So I consider this like your priorities, the things that are urgent, that need to get done right now and are most important. Next are the things you are going to delegate. What can you pass over to someone else? What can you ask someone else help for? So can you ask your husband to pick up the kids today? Or can you ask your kids to start helping with dinner or cleaning up their mess? So what are some of those things that you can delegate? Now, I know as women, most of you guys here are women, it is hard to ask for help. I know that I have a really hard time asking for help. I kind of feel like, don't worry, I don't want to put anyone in a bad position. I want to do everything kind of myself. And I've really, really struggled with the delegation part of it and having to ask for help. But I realize that if I don't ask for help, I will lose my mind. So it is a practice that I had to work on, not only making it inconvenient for someone else, but like it's not done the way that I want it. But in order for me to like not go crazy every day, I had to come to terms, accept that it may not be as good as I'm going to do it, but I need someone else to help me with it. And next on the list is the third D, which is delay. And she says to delay it guilt-free. So like I said, for me personally, I don't like delaying things. I don't like delaying dishes or, cleaning or things that I feel like I need to get done. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough or I didn't get enough done that day or I wasn't as productive as I wanted to be. But we just have to give ourselves permission to say that it's okay to get it done tomorrow. It doesn't mean we didn't have a productive day. It just means that there were other things that we needed to focus on. So delay it and delay it guilt-free. And the last thing is to delete. What are the things that we're adding on our to-do list that just overwhelm us or they are just busy work and not moving us towards our goals? I want you to write down everything that you have to do today and then leave me a comment. Think of one thing on your list that you can possibly delete. I know a lot of people will put on makeup and put on my eyelashes and, do those things, but is it going to move you towards your goals today? So this could be a great strategy to use to pick your priorities on your to-do list.
You got something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own, but it's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good on me now. A breeze in my ear, 'cause I cannot say no to you. Feeling like home, but should it be like this? Locked up in your dome, I fight for you. What do I do? Every time you call my name, what do I do? You're whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I do?
So I am using the Bissell Carpet Pet Pro shampooer. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I like to use this one on lower carpeted areas or rugs. I feel like this one does a good job cleaning that. And then I do have the Tenco one carpet cleaner that I like to use on my carpet upstairs because it's thicker and also on the stairs. Rye, my 1-year-old, is crawling around everywhere, so I have been making sure that the floors are a lot cleaner than I usually would. I probably wouldn't shampoo this rug all the time, even though I should, but recently I have been, because you saw earlier our dog has been having accidents, and then he's just all over the floor, so I'm want to make sure that it's clean all the time. So I do my best. And then this little runner rug in here is actually ruined. After I shampooed this, I rolled it up and tossed it because Chris had cleaned it outside with the power washer, I think one time, and then he hung it up to dry. And what happened was it stretched. So it's crooked on one side. It's not straight anymore. And also our dog did have an accident on it. So after I got it all wet, I could just smell it, and it just smelled really bad. And we had been trying to clean it and get everything out, and it's probably just time for a new rug. So after this, I actually don't have a rug in here, so I'm going to have to look for one to put here. And this rug and floor is just dirty. I mean, every time it's always going to be brown. It's just, if you clean your floors and it's clear every time you clean them, then there's something wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, every time we clean the floors, it is going to be this dirty. I feel like with 3 kids and a dog, I could vacuum every single day. I could shampoo this rug twice a day and it would still be dirty. Now, I also am not great about keeping up with cleaning the cleaning stuff. I don't like it. So it's been a while since I cleaned this out. I am guilty of not doing it every day or every time I use it. So I took this whole thing apart, and that's just how much. Part of that is carpet and then dog hair, dust, everything that it picked up. It's just so much. So also this kind of goes in front of the spinners, and then there's another piece that actually sucks it all up. I don't know how to explain it. That little piece there. And I do not know, that piece doesn't come apart. And I've tried to get the hair and stuff and the dirt out of that piece, but I haven't been able to. So I took everything outside to kind of see if the water would get it better. And if you guys remember our planter gardens, look how big our sunflowers are growing. Like, we had to put an umbrella to shade it. It just has been so hot, like 107 degrees out here. I'm not even kidding. And but anyway, that's what I use to water the plants. But I'm trying to get all of this stuff out. I don't know how to get it out. So I'm using a little kebab stick to try and fit it in there. It's not working. So if any of you guys have ideas, like how I can get all of that stuff out because it doesn't come apart, or if it does, I don't know what to do, then let me know. That would be appreciated. So last time I did a Q&A, some of you asked about my engagement story and I forgot to tell y'all, and so here I am. I think the original question was, for Chris and I, was it love at first sight and how did we get engaged? And I will just start off by saying, no, it was not love at first sight. And my engagement story is that our cruise ship sank and I was on the plane crying the whole way home. So we originally met through mutual friends. We kind of were friends for a little while. And then if you are old school like me and you had AIM or AOL, so we were like chatting through there. And then we kind of reconnected and started hanging out and then eventually started dating. And that was back when he's 2.5 years older than me, and I was a senior in high school, and then he had already graduated. So that is when we first started dating. So it's been a long time, and we did break up a couple of times in between there. But after, what was it, like 6 years of dating, I wanted to finish my degree. I was going to night school, so it took me 6 years to get my undergrad degree. So I wanted to finish that before focusing on a wedding or anything like that. So right at the end, when I was getting closer to graduating, I would hint like, okay, like this is it. Let's start looking at rings and let's like do the whole thing. And I am so weird. I like to plan my own stuff. I like surprises, but I want it to be like perfect. So we planned a trip to Italy, and it would be our first like big international trip. And we booked a cruise to go to Italy. So we booked this trip like 8 months in advance. And when it started getting closer to the time we were supposed to go, that's when we started looking at rings. And I would just say, oh my gosh, it would be the best thing in the world to get engaged in the most beautiful place on earth. And my mom's Italian, so it's like it was something like so special, and I just talked about it all the time. So we looked at a couple different rings, and 6 weeks before we were supposed to leave on this big trip, I don't know if you guys remember the Costa Concordia. That was the cruise ship we were supposed to go on. We were booked on, and that is the one that sank in the Mediterranean. It is a tragic story. And yes, we were supposed to go on there about 5 weeks after it sank. So my sister and her husband at the time were going with us. So she sent me this message and I was just like, is this real? This news article. I'm like, is this real? This isn't real. Like, this is the ship that we are booked on. Oh my gosh, how is this happening? Like, our first time ever, and it just so happens to be that exact ship. If you heard last year, we were at Kalahari and a tornado hit. Like, we had bad luck traveling, but I mean, not bad luck, but it's just kind of very bizarre. So we had, our flights were non-refundable, and we had, like, it was going to be a 7-day cruise, and we were going to spend a couple days in Rome. So we had a couple of weeks for them to figure out, like, they needed to refund us so that we could book the rest of our trip. And we had a few weeks to figure out what to do, where to go, and how to plan this international trip in just a few weeks. So anyway, that's not my engagement story, but that is kind of leading into it, because we figured it out. I don't know how, but we flew to Rome, and every single beautiful place that we were at, I was like, okay, this is it. This is when he's going to do it. This is going to be like my perfect engagement. And it didn't happen. And then finally, by the end of the trip, I was a little bitter, I would say, because it still hadn't happened. And then on the plane ride home, I know that you're not supposed to like plan it, but I just couldn't help but feel very sad that it didn't happen like when I wanted it to happen and where I wanted it to happen. So on the plane ride home, I was just in tears, crying, and he's just like, why are you so upset? And I was just like, I didn't want to say anything, because it's like, I'm not supposed to plan this, but I did plan it in my head, right? So and I was just kind of told him, I was like, I just thought that we were going to get engaged, and it was just like my dream. It was just like my entire dream, and it didn't happen. And then I'm like questioning, do you not love me? Because you didn't propose to me in Italy. So I don't know. It was just like, whatever. So the next day he was like, well, do you want to go to dinner? And I was like, sure. And this sounds so bad, but it happened at dinner. And don't get me wrong, I was very excited. I was just kind of like almost embarrassed. Like, why didn't you propose to me? Was it not like, are you having second thoughts? Like, what's going on? And he's not a big like flashy guy and all this stuff. He's just like super simple guy. So he just said I was just so nervous. And I think the worst thing, and I don't know why I'm telling you all this, but he took the ring to Italy. He actually took the ring to Italy, and he just said it never felt right. It never felt like the right time. When it was the right time, I didn't bring the ring with me on that excursion, and he said like he just overthought it, and just it got to him, and then he felt like it didn't feel right. So I usually don't tell people that whole story. I'm just like, we got engaged at dinner, and that's it, because that's really how it happened. But I just had to tell you the backstory because it was pretty interesting. So I will say, when you're like in that age where like everybody's getting engaged and stuff, like we had friends get engaged on like through a banner on a helicopter, and then like surprise engagement parties and like all of this stuff. So I kept comparing my experience, and it had nothing to do with the experience. And I think that's what got to me, is like the comparison of everything. Now that I'm older, like none of that matters, right? It just matters if you love each other and working on your relationship. But I didn't know that at the time. So at the time I was upset. Now it is what it is, and we are celebrating 10 years next month. So everything works out the way it's supposed to. But if any of you guys have any crazy, cool, whatever engagement stories, I love reading y'all's stories. So leave me a comment down below.
Let me feel your love again, 'cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the two of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel.
So if you're questioning why I'm vacuuming after I already washed the cushions, well, it's all about aesthetics. The vacuum lines just make it look cleaner and neater. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, whether it was motivation, entertainment, or inspiration that you were hoping to get. I hope you got it. And make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I do have a bunch of fun content coming out, but I will see you all next week. The weather is finally getting a little cooler, at least here in Texas, which is why it was time for me to tackle my super messy, unorganized coat closet. Clean, organize, declutter that, as well as do a little bit of nighttime cleaning after dinner, and then also clean out underneath this outdoor kitchen area. Our mouse problem is back, so this needed a good deep cleaning, which is something I had to call Chris to come help me with, because there was things in there I did not want to find. And I'll finish up by organizing all the kids' winter clothes. So pick an area in your home to clean and organize with me. So dinner's done, the kids are in the bath, and I'm going to quickly clean up the kitchen and the living room area. For once in my life, it's not super bad. So it doesn't take me too long to clean up.
Give me something new. I want it back. Through and through, just do it. I'll let you rule. I know you like to break the rules, and my cry is being too good for you. I'm too good to you. I'm too good to you. My cry is being
So do y'all usually have your kitchen and living room cleaned up before you go to bed each night, or do you tackle it in the morning? I would assume most people want it done the night before because it is nice to wake up to a clean kitchen and a clean living room, but I am not a night person. So sometimes I go through phases where I'm like, I'm going to make sure everything's clean before I go to bed at night. And then sometimes I am so exhausted. I'm like, I don't care. I am more productive in the morning, well, mid-morning after coffee. So I don't mind doing it all around that time. Now, I do work remotely from home, so I do have a little bit of a luxury to get things done around the time frames that I want them to get done. Otherwise, when I was working outside the home, it is like pretty much impossible to do anything in the morning besides rush out the door. But I have been seeing so many, like on Instagram, like vlogs of moms in the morning, and they wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and start prepping for the day, and their kids wake up at 6, and I'm like, how are you awake at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning? Girl, I am sleeping. But I do feel like I'm a person who needs more than the average amount of sleep per night. Like I could probably sleep 9 hours every single night. If my kids and life and everything allowed me to, that would feel perfect. Chris could sleep 5 hours a night and be perfectly functioning. But leave me a comment, let me know, how much sleep do you need to function? A lot of sleep, a little sleep? I'm always curious. All right, but next you're wondering what I'm doing. I moved outside, and let me tell you how I got moved outside. So anyway, I was going to replace the little mini refrigerator, and I ended up not. So I pulled out the refrigerator, I measured everything, and when I was going to put the new refrigerator in, it was off by like 1/4 of an inch. So anyway, I didn't know this at the time. So I ended up going through this, deep cleaning everything out here, and then later on I realized that it didn't fit. So I'm going to deep clean this anyway. So when I was taking out everything, and this is like an outdoor grill area, I started seeing a lot of mouse poop. I'm going to assume it's a mouse, not a rat. And we had a mouse problem a couple years ago, but we have since gotten rid of them. I don't know how. We do have like an exterminator that comes, but I didn't know if like we hadn't cleaned this area out in so long that it's old, or if they're back. I was hoping they're not back, but Chris thinks they're back. So anyway, I'm cleaning this out, and in that back corner, I see something, and I'm like, and it's kind of moving, and I start freaking out because I'm like, is that? And just forewarning you, I'm going to be talking about this. So if you're grossed out by like creatures and stuff, then skip over this part. But I don't know what it is. I refuse to go in there. So I call Chris, my husband, and I'm like, where are you? Come home, because I can't finish cleaning this out until you come and get this object thing that's in here. And I was like, it's either one of two things. It's in that corner. And I was like, it's either a dead mouse or it's a frog. And so he comes and gets it out, and it's so gross. So I spare you. I will not show you it. But it ended up being a frog, a dead frog. And this is gross. Don't eat right now. It had maggots in it. So that's why it was moving around. And I just, it's so gross. Okay, I'm done talking about it. But this outdoor kitchen is not built in. So we bought it from a place and they delivered it. And it's like really, really heavy. So we're vacuuming all of this stuff up because if we put the power washer or water in there, we didn't think that the water would have anywhere to go unless we figured out how to pick up this whole grill, which we did somehow. But we're going to hose it out now. We're going to pick up the grill, and then we are going to try and get it all cleaned up.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just
All right, so that's done and over with. And next we are moving on to reorganizing, decluttering, and cleaning up a bit this coat closet. I keep a lot of my vacuums in here and shampooers, and it is so hard to get in and out. And I don't know what happened here. This is also a great hide and seek spot where the kids will go in there and then put a bunch of coats on them and hide. And this is also a very deep closet. So when we were building the house, we asked them to extend it out. So it actually goes all the way underneath. And I'm just gonna, you know, the movie, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and you just go in and it just keeps going and going. That's what I feel like when I'm cleaning out this closet. But here we go.
You got a free pass, oh. Try to hide it, but you had me from the get-go. Let me be frank, I'm not that complicated. If you need me, it's a use of playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. Just watch me break it. If only me touch me. You would do anything that I want to keep us away to the dawn.
So I'm going to start from bottom to top, and after I vacuumed up, I'm just using an e-cloth to kind of mop in this area because it is a really tight space. And then I'm going to start decluttering and going through everything that was laying all over the floors. So when I start organizing a space, and if you ever listen to like the Home Edit or any like professional organizers, I've read in several different places that you should start with storage spaces first, because then once you get to the bigger areas, then you have places to store that stuff like attics and closets. And I never did that way. I just did whatever was the worst spot, then I started there. But now I'm getting to my storage spaces, and we have a lot of stuff that we don't use in here. Well, Chris will not let me get rid of any of this hunting stuff. And it's like pulling on an arm and a leg, like, you don't need this, you don't need this. But anyway, so I just asked for a bigger tote, right? You pick your battles. When you're married, you pick your battles. And I just said, well, then give me a larger tote. And like, what are we going to do with these chaps? Like, I just don't know. So I start going through this big bag, and I'm like, oh, heck no. That is mouse poop. We had a mouse in our house 4 years ago. And we knew because we started seeing poop. And I assume it is from that mouse, because I would see a lot more poop if there was a lot of mice in our house. So I'm like, hopefully we don't have this problem again. But that went straight outside. Sorry, that's staying outside. That I'm not going through that. It's not coming back in the house. So anyway, all the other stuff I'm going to put in this larger tote, and then just have this one tote to carry all this stuff instead of it just being scattered all over the floor in this closet. The next bigger things that we have in here are some of my cleaning vacuums, and I don't like them right in front of the doorway. And since we do have a lot of that back space, I know this seems a little strange, but they do fit in that back corner. So if I were to keep them in that back corner, I would just need access to get to them quite often. So my goal is to keep this whole space open enough to where when I need a carpet shampooer, I can kind of crawl back there and get it easily without having to move a bunch of junk around. So that's my goal. Hopefully we can keep it this open and empty. Also, instead of just having all of these attachments laying sprawled out all over the floor, I decided to put them in these totes that I already had from IKEA. These are not my favorite because I like the ones that clip on the side so that the lid doesn't come off. So I just had them laying around, and I figured that they would make a good use for those things, and I can just put them on top of that bigger tote. And once I have kind of a system going on there, then I can go through all of the jackets and then start working my way up the closet. So what does your hallway or coat closet look like? Is it nice and organized, or is it a disaster like mine was? Let me know. the funny thing is that where I live, it doesn't really get super cold and snowy, but I have a lot of coats. And if you haven't watched my channel, or if you're newer to my channel, you'll quickly realize that I love clothes. I declutter and I do that, but I like having a lot of clothes. I like having variety. I like shopping in my closet. So I have a lot of coats, but sometimes I do have to be realistic and know when it's time to let go of some. So first I have to try them on, see if it's still in style, if I still like it, and then I'll ultimately make the decision. But y'all, okay, I am a millennial, speaking of fashion, and I am having the hardest time liking bell-bottom jeans, like liking the new style that's coming out, because I get flashbacks of high school and like junior high, and you know, like when you wear bell-bottom jeans and it's raining outside and then the bottom of your jeans just gets soaking wet and heavy, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can like these, but I have to like these because if I wear skinny jeans, then I'm not cool anymore. So do y'all like the whole bell-bottom loose jean fashion that is coming, or are you like, you still like your skinny jeans and leggings? But let me know if I'm not the only one who is having trouble with this new fashion. I just have to find the right style and fit. All right, so we're making progress in here, and I have to say that it feels great. Sometimes when you feel like you're just cleaning nonstop, that you don't really have time to go through and organize things. But I have been on an organizing kick this last month, and I have been really enjoying it and just really glad that it's all getting done. Oh yeah, but when I was going through these games, I was like, I'll have to think when I do my voiceover to ask, what is some good family games? So we love Yahtzee. That's like one of our go-to games. What are some other, we play Sequence, Kid Sequence, and then we have, I don't know. You guys, let me know your favorite family game to play. But anyway, now that we're done, let's see some before and afters.
We used to hang around town pretty late. I spent the week thinking about our next day. It was easier then, so much easier then. Or like that time I picked you up outside of school. You said, screw my dad, I make my own rules. It was easier then, so much easier then. Take me back to those easy summer days when we stopped at nothing, babe. Yeah, we stopped at nothing, baby. They couldn't take us, they couldn't change us, they couldn't catch us if they tried. No, we didn't care at all.
So my next and final project for this video is to go through all of the winter clothes, start bringing out some of those long sleeve shirts and pants, and also sort through a lot of Rye, my 1-year-old's clothes. He grows out of his clothes every few months, so I'm in that constant state of organizing and sorting and decluttering and getting new clothes.
Figure out, but now that I'm done, I'm full of doubt. Was it easy for you? Yeah, was it too easy for you? You used to say that you would always be mine, but you seem to be doing just fine. Now I think about you, I just can't seem to stop thinking about you. Take me back to those easy summer days when we stopped at nothing, babe. Yeah, we stopped at nothing, baby. They couldn't take us, they couldn't change us, they couldn't catch us if they tried. and sunshine and mischief. Yeah, we had one of those things. When we stopped at nothing, babe. Yeah, we stopped at nothing, baby. They couldn't take us, they couldn't change us, they couldn't catch us if they tried. No, we didn't care at all about winter or spring or fall. We felt so alive, and girl, we were thriving on kisses and sunshine and mischief. Yeah, we had one of those things. We just had one of those things.
Since the girls share a room, and if you're new here, Sailor is my almost 6-year-old. She'll be 6 on the 25th of October. And then Savannah just turned 4. They share this room, and in the middle drawer is where I keep all of Sailor's clothes, and then in the bottom drawer is where I keep all of Savannah's clothes. But I don't have enough space for all of their winter and summer clothes. So I just have this as a seasonal dresser. And in this big tote is typically things that I keep that will fit Savannah once Sailor grows out of it, or that is holiday specific, like Christmas clothes or Thanksgiving clothes or Halloween shirts and stuff like that. So this is a huge tote that I keep in their closet. And then as the seasons change, then I will get rid of things and then also store things that Savannah can wear in the next season. I also fold everything basically KonMari style, or I organize all of my clothes and all of the kids' clothes that way. It is the most easiest way to see everything that we have, and it does take a little bit more upkeep than folding it just the traditional folding way. If you struggle with keeping up with clothes, then I recommend giving this a try. If you've watched my videos before, you've heard me say this, that when I initially first started folding my clothes and sorting my clothes this way, I didn't think I would be able to keep it up. I thought that I would initially do one big organization and have these drawer organizers, and then I would just let it fall apart. But I can say that I've been doing it this way for 2 years, and it is the best way to be able to see all of the clothes and keep them together. So from someone who likes clothes, like me, I like clothes, and I'm going to organize them. And if I choose to have a lot of clothes, then I'm going to organize them in a way that I can see them, be able to wear them, and enjoy them.
Hey, won't you pour me another? I'm going in, so wish me good luck. Yeah, gotta put on my favorite song. I need a boost. Let's turn up the love. No, it is way too late, but I just can't.
So this is the tote that I keep of clothes that are too small. So say, for example, Savannah is in a 4T now. So this has all of the 3T winter clothes already in it. And now as summer is ending, then I'm putting all of the 3T summer clothes in it so that I can just hand it over to a friend and say, this is all winter and summer 3T clothes.
I'm going in, so wish me good luck. Yeah, gotta put on my favorite song. I need a boost. Let's turn up the love, because it's on. Ooh, ooh, keep my fingers crossed. Oh yeah, it's on. Ooh, ooh, let's turn up the love. Might have been one too many. Should go home to my bed, sleep it off. But I can't stop believing you're the one I'ma be with tonight. So I will do anything to make you mine. Hey, won't you pour me another? I'm going in, so wish me good.
So now that's done, I'm moving on to Rise clothes, and I was given a whole trash bag of clothes from my sister-in-law. She has 3 boys, but they're a little bit older. So she gave me a ton of 4T clothes. So I have clothes that I'm going to organize for the future, as well as go through clothes that he is moving up to the next size in. So as I'm doing that, I had also been listening to one of Rachel Hollis's podcasts. I've been listening to her podcast recently. I have a group of people I listen to, and then I'll just go through specific topics that I want and then pick that podcast. And this podcast specifically was about productivity. I feel like I have all of these projects that I want to do. I have all this work I want to get done. I have all these goals I want to accomplish. And then sometimes when I get and I sit down at my computer and I'm like, I'm going to do this voiceover, I'm going to do this, I just immediately like pull out my phone and start scrolling, and then 30 minutes has gone by and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have got nothing done. So productivity. Let's talk about some of the things that I've heard that are helpful, and then some of the things I've heard about in her podcast that like really resonated with me. So when you really get into like the self-help, self-development space and start following these really inspiring people, you'll realize that over time they all say the same things. They just say it in different ways. So I've probably said this before, but whenever she was saying these, I'm like, yep, I just got to do it. So productivity, how to get more out of your day. Well, she said, and I've said this before, is that most people have a specific time of day where they feel their most energetic. So she calls it the witch hour. Like some people are very productive at night. Some people are more productive in the morning. And I've said before, I am most productive in the morning after I've had my coffee, like not 5 o'clock in the morning, but probably around 9 a.m. That's when I plan to get the most important things done. Amy Porterfield, who is one of my mentors, calls it your tiger time. Melanie Groves, who is a professional organizer, she calls it your sparkle time. So within that hour, you prioritize your goal for that day. So your goal could be, I need to get the house clean. So a lot of times on Saturday mornings, that's what I do in that time of day. I need to get a lot done. Or you are working towards an organization project, or you're just working towards a work project. So me trying to get a bunch of stuff done at 8 o'clock at night after all my kids have gone to bed is just a horrible idea for me, because that's not when I'm productive. That's not when my brain is turned on. That's why I avoid doing goal-oriented things at that time of night. So leave me a comment below. Let me know when your energy hour is. That's what I like to call it. And when you feel most productive. Next is, especially as us moms, we have so much to do. We have not only do we have physical things to do, cleaning, cooking, organizing, we have this mental load. Like I got to remember birthdays. I got to send this to school. I got to sign this form. I got to, buy gifts for Christmas. I got to, like there's this mental load that goes with it. So what ends up happening is that we just create these to-do lists, and then we feel like we don't ever really accomplish anything because we are too busy doing tasks, which is fine. I'm not saying to not do tasks, but if you have a goal, if you have a deep goal that you want to work towards, then you should be creating a results list. Where do you want to see the biggest results? I also like to refer to this as a priority list, and I've talked about this before. The difference between a priority list and a to-do list is that a priority list moves you closer and closer to the goal that you want to accomplish. So focus on your priorities in your most productive time of day, and then throughout the day, you can focus on the tasks. Also, make sure you're doing a little bit each day. Rachel Hollis used this analogy. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So think about if you made 1% progress per day, that's 365% progress over the year. When I organized my horrendous closet, like it was way, way horrible, it took me 7 days. I just was like, I knew it's just overwhelming, and I just knew that this had to get done. This was my biggest priority for the week, the month. I didn't do it every single day. Every other day I worked at it until I finally got it organized. But don't not start a goal because you're overwhelmed. And lastly, hack away at the unessential things that don't drive your results. These are your distractions. These are the things that are taking away from you not getting it done. My biggest distraction by far is my phone. I have to go and set my phone in another room so that I don't pull it up when I'm feeling overwhelmed and just start scrolling and wasting time. So I include these helpful tips because I know that you know how to clean your house. But sometimes we need to figure out when we can be most productive and when we can give ourselves grace when we're not. So I've got most of these clothes organized. I'm feeling exhausted, but really glad that I got it done. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you're not subscribed and you got anything out of this video, then I would love for you to subscribe. But I will be back next week for some more motivation, so I'll see you then.
Let me tell you right now, your exquisite kiss still burning. Didn't know I missed this passion in life. Now I'm addicted somehow. Let me tell you what is up with your smile? It's impossible, not melting, irresistible. When I look through your eyes, not even sky's the limit. I used to be satisfied, stayed over the surface. Now I just can't get enough. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher. You lift me up, now I can see so much farther. Beyond the horizon. Beyond the horizon. I'm a butterfly who has only begun taking.
There is so much to do in today's video. Where do we even start? Well, let's start right here in the kitchen. But this video was filmed over 3 days, and within those 3 days, I have a whole house to clean. Starting here in the refrigerator, the kitchen, the living room, the upstairs playroom, the kids' room, our bedroom. I'm going to be doing some laundry. I'll be cleaning our bathroom and our closet. So today is definitely a day to catch up, especially if you need the extra motivation. If you're new here, then welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a mom of 3 kids, 5 and under, and I help tired moms feel good about themselves by how messy my house is. No, but really, I do hope to motivate you and inspire you in all different areas of your life. But let's get started on the refrigerator. I have a side-by-side refrigerator, which doesn't really give me a whole lot of space, but regardless to say, when I have leftovers and other food stuff, it's hard to make room for everything. So it all just gets stacked in there. And then if it goes to the very back, then, we forget it's in there, and it's just about time to clean it all out. This is probably one of my least favorite chores or tasks to do. So I'm going to start here first, so that way I can get it over with and then move on to the rest of the house. So what I'm cleaning off here are refrigerator liners that I purchased from Amazon. So you can just basically, you saw me take them off, but you just put them on your refrigerator, and then that way if something, some kind of food or anything leaks on there, then you don't have to take the whole tray off. You can just clean these off, but sometimes it does seep under if I wait too long. So I do end up washing off all of these, the liners as well as the glass trays. But I do have a question for y'all. How often do you clean out your refrigerator? I know that I asked a couple of my friends and they would say every time they went grocery shopping, they'd clean everything out. And then some people said later than that. I probably wait later. Like I said, doing dishes and cleaning the refrigerator are some of my least favorite tasks. And that's probably why I don't do it as often as I should. So if y'all watched the video from a couple of weeks ago, you saw that I had to get a new washing machine because our washing machine went out. We had the Samsung washer and dryer. The washer went out after 8 years, and we ended up buying an LG new washer, but we haven't bought the matching dryer yet. But whenever we went to go look at them, we saw this beautiful LG refrigerator, and I was really tempted to buy it, because I wish that our refrigerator was not a side-by-side and we did buy the French door refrigerator. Most of y'all probably have that. In fact, leave me a comment down below. Do you have a side-by-side refrigerator like mine, or do you have like the French door one where the refrigerator's on the top and then the freezer's on the bottom? We ended up going with this Samsung side-by-side refrigerator a long time ago because of where our refrigerator is. We needed a counter depth one, meaning that it is almost like you lose space. It's not as deep as a regular size refrigerator, because in this little hallway where our fridge is, it would have came out too much and it just wouldn't have looked right. So we just had a smaller space here. And back then there was something that had to do with the French door one and it being counter depth, whether it was like way more expensive or something, where we ended up not going for it. But now that we have a bigger family, I wish that we had some more space so that it didn't get so crammed like it is now. But y'all let me know in the comments if you've had one of each. Which one do you recommend? Should I get a new one? Am I totally fine with this one? It's not worth it. I don't know. I like y'all's opinions, so let me know.
Hey, don't you look at me like that when you break my heart like that, like you're feeling sorry. It's your own fault. Now toss the salt. Don't you look at me like that, walking out the door like that. You're not feeling sorry. It's your own fault. Now toss the salt. Devil on, it's a devil on your shoulder. Devil on, it's a devil on your shoulder. Devil on, it's a devil on your shoulder. Like you're feeling sorry. Don't you look at me like that when you break my heart like that, like you're feeling sorry, 'cause you're not feeling sorry. Hey, hey. Don't you look at me like that when you break my heart like that, like you're feeling sorry. It's your own fault. Now toss the salt. Don't you look at me like that, walking out the door like that. You're not feeling sorry. It's your own fault.
So I have these containers here. I used to have a lot more, but I've slowly started taking them out because for some reason, as much as I like it to be organized, it just felt like it was getting too much. So I end up putting containers in and out just depending on where I like them and how they're utilized. So this is what it looked like before with me not going through this food for a while. And then, you know, the goal here was just to keep it clean, not do an over organization, but just make it to where I can find stuff. And then next step will be to head to the grocery store.
I'm staring through your window, looking up at the stars, up at the stars. I'm caught inside a loop where I can get to your heart, get to your heart. Ooh, you're letting your fears take hold, let them take control, and it's making me crazy. If you could only look at me, you know how I feel, know how I feel. Oh, see how much I want it, see how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. That's how much I want it, that's how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. Think twice before you let me go. My eyes are mirrors of my soul. See how much I want it, see how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. Look into, look into, look into, look into, look into, look into, look into my eyes. Look into, look into, look into, look into, look into, look into, look into.
So if you notice, I do have the old coffee table there, and I did get a new coffee table, but parts of this video were recorded before that. And that little corner that I was just cleaning up is where we usually put our Christmas tree. And since it's almost time for the holidays, I have been planning how I'm going to decorate this year, which leads me to ask you guys a question. And there, I just always find random food stuff everywhere. But back in the beginning of me coming on here on YouTube, I think that a lot of you guys found my channel through one of my Christmas decorating videos. And if you've been here for a while, leave me a comment down below. Let me know which video kind of sparked your interest and made you subscribe to my channel. Was it a cleaning video, a decluttering video, organizing, or a decorating video? Whichever video it was, I'm definitely glad to have you here, and I appreciate your support so much. Next, I'm moving on to the dishes, and I may have asked this before, but let's settle this debate once and for all. Would you rather do dishes or laundry? So dishes and laundry are probably the two main things that we have to do the most. And I would rather do laundry than dishes. But leave me a comment down below. Let me know which one you'd rather do. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, then you know that I'm a mom of 3. I have 2 girls and then 1 boy, Rye, who is 1 year old. So I was recently talking to a mom who was pregnant, and she was pregnant with her 3rd. So we were talking about like the difference in having 1 versus 2 versus 3 kids, and which transition was the hardest. And when you were pregnant, did you have a mother's intuition about whether or not it was a boy or a girl? And obviously we all hope for a happy, healthy baby, but after that stage, we kind of get curious as to what it is. Or at least I did, and my intuition was so wrong with all 3 of my kids. So for me, having 3 kids, Sailor just turned 6, so 6 and under is really difficult, but you're almost just in this like firefighter mode, like you're just putting out fires, not literally, but and you're just here and there that you don't have time to think about, oh man, if I only had this many kids, it wouldn't be hard. So I feel like once you make the decision to like extend your family, then you just have to go with the flow of things. But Chris and I weren't initially sure that we wanted 3 kids. I think we always kind of agreed that 2 kids was going to be really good for us, but we weren't sure. Like, we never really thought we would have a 3rd kid. So whenever I had Sailor, I thought she was going to be a boy. I mean, I don't know why. I just kind of, maybe I wanted a boy first. I wanted to have a boy first and then a girl so that he could protect his younger sister. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I have a sister. So I just thought that I was going to have a boy. And then when we did our gender reveal, I was shocked a little bit that it was a girl. But we, we're so thankful. Everything worked out perfect. So then I got pregnant with Savannah. And my pregnancy with Savannah was so different that everyone was like, oh, you're way sicker this time. You're not carrying the same way. Like, it's definitely going to be a boy this time. And I had convinced myself, I'm like, I really do think that this one is a boy. And like at 12 weeks, I was trying to look at the ultrasound picture and I'm like, oh, definitely, like looking on YouTube of 12-week ultrasounds when they figured it out. And I was like, I think definitely like this is a boy. So whenever we did our gender reveal and it was a girl, I looked really disappointed. I was just like, what? Like, are you kidding me? So I don't like showing the video because I look disappointed, but I think it was just, I was disappointed in the fact that I was like wrong. Like, my intuition about it was wrong. But after I had her, I was like, this is perfect. I love having 2 girls. They're going to grow up together. They're going to be sisters. It's going to be just amazing. And it was. Now, Chris was never like, we have to have a boy. I want a boy. Like, I was very adamant, like, girls are just as great as boys. So he was never like, we need to have the boy or we need to try for a boy. So a couple years went by, or I guess like 2 years went by, and I was like, I think that, we should think about, like, if we're going to have a 3rd kid, like, I'm kind of getting up there in age, we should probably think about that. And we never were like, we need to have the boy. We kind of just assumed we would have a girl, and it was whether or not we could handle 3 kids, because I was like, I don't know if I can take on 3 kids. So anyway, we got pregnant, and I just in my mind was like, it's probably going to be a girl. I don't think that we, can have boys. And we did this. I ordered the sneak peek gender test. So I did not do that with the 2 girls. I did the sneak peek. So I had my sister open it, and then whenever we did our gender reveal, I even looked at the ultrasound picture at 12 weeks, and I'm like, it's definitely a girl. I know that it's a girl. And we did it, and it was a boy. And I was so shocked. I showed you guys that reaction in one of my videos. But then I started getting comments that on that video that y'all's sneak peek was wrong, or you knew someone whose sneak peek was wrong. I had a friend who say her sister's sneak peek was wrong. So then I'm like convincing myself that it's wrong and it's really not a boy. It really is going to be another girl. So then I started getting so nervous about it. Like the sneak peek, it can be wrong. It's like more likely to be wrong for a boy, because if there's any boy DNA that you touch, it can pick it up into the kit than it would be for a girl. So I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it's just too good to be true. It probably is wrong. Now I gotta wait. I took it at, was I 12 weeks? So I'm like, I got to wait 2 months for my anatomy scan, thinking that it's a boy, everybody thinking it's a boy. And if it's wrong, like, I don't know, I can't plan anything. And I like to plan the nursery, and I like to plan the clothes and all that. So At this point, and based on all the stories, I had fully convinced myself that it was probably wrong. So at 16 weeks, I paid for an extra ultrasound. It wasn't through my doctor, it was through this other ultrasound services place. And when I went in, they were like, oh, sometimes we can't tell at 16 weeks. You know, you may have to have waited until you're 20 weeks. And I'm like, what? It says that, you know, you can tell at 16 weeks. So she's like, well, we'll just check and see. And then when she did the ultrasound, she was like, you are definitely having a boy. So sometimes, like, if we think it's too good to be true, we completely psych ourselves out of it. Now, we were obviously excited to get pregnant again. And regardless of what it was, boy or girl, we were still really, really happy and just blessed that everything turned out the way that it did. So leave me a comment down below. Were you right about the gender of your kids, or were you wrong like me?
Drown yourself in the neon. You came to this place to hide away in the dark. You tell yourself you need to move on, but one night in the shadows can ease your broken heart. They turn the volume up, you shut your mouth.
All right, so I moved on to the bedroom, and then I will be doing some laundry. But next week starts the kickoff of all of my Christmas decorating, and it is going to be phenomenal. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. This will make it a lot easier to find my videos under your subscription list. And if you turn on bell notifications, that means that you'll get notified right when a new video gets released. If you enjoy Christmas and decorating as much as I do, then I promise you will enjoy this month's series.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way.
So I just opened up those Tide Pods. We don't typically use that. I typically use like Method, or I have the 7th generation, like a more natural laundry detergent, but Chris likes the way that smells, and I feel like the natural laundry detergents don't give off a really strong scent. You should probably use like fabric softener and stuff. So I did buy those for towels, and then he likes them with his clothes.
'Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. 'Cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. 'cause I found my way.
We've had this conversation, and you seem to agree with me. But when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be. When there's a problem, you become like a wall. And every time I trip, it's a free fall. Why don't you help me the way I help you? You don't have to save me, just be my parachute. When I'm feeling down, you're just not there, making sure I'm okay. Why don't you help me the way I help you?
So I know the holidays are coming up, but so is a new year. And with the new year, what often comes with that? It's new goals. And if you've ever been interested in getting started with a YouTube channel or just curious to know more about it, I do have a free YouTube Power Kit below that you can download absolutely for free, and it will give you some more information about the potential on YouTube and how to get started with your own YouTube channel. I am very passionate about the work that I put on here, what I share, and the connection that I have with you guys. And from being super scared and pretty much shaking when I hit post on my first video to growing this channel and growing it as a business to help our family out, I wanted to share with you guys some of that information on how to get started. And in January, I'm going to be working with a small group of people to help y'all get started. I'm so excited about it. But to get started, just go ahead and click the link and download the free YouTube Power Kit.
Just be my parachute, yeah. Just be my parachute. Why don't you help me?
All right, so last week I listened to, here we go, a podcast. There was a couple podcasts I want to share with you and that were really inspiring to me. And I listened to a lot. So the ones that like talk to me or whatever are the ones that I share. And there is actually two, and they're from Rachel Hollis's podcast. And they are episode 478, How to Increase Belief in Yourself, and episode 479, Proven Tactics to Get Happier. Oh, and go ahead and tag on episode 482, because I just listened to that one, How to Be a High-Level Leader, especially if you are dealing with a lot of criticism. That one was really good for that. But as I move on to the last area of the house and picking up this playroom, by the way, next week I will be reorganizing everything. So if you like organization, make sure you're subscribed. But I'll just give you a snippet of her podcast 478, which is how to increase belief in yourself, your goals, and your vision for the future, because I feel like so many of us just feel like we can't do enough, or we don't believe in ourselves enough to take that next step. And this could be something as simple as feeling like you can never organize your home, or you can never keep up with the routine, or or the belief that you can never lose weight because you've tried everything, or you could never start a YouTube channel even though you've always wanted to. And most of our beliefs come from past experiences. So if we haven't really experienced it and we tried something and we're not successful, then we don't believe that we can actually do it. So in her podcast, this is Rachel Hollis's podcast, episode 478, she gives an example to draw a circle. Now think of this circle as all of the knowledge in the whole world. Everyone's brains, everyone's knowledge, everything in the entire world that we all know. Now next, draw a circle within that circle of all of the knowledge that you know, that you possess. And here's an old apple the girls left upstairs. But if within your circle, most likely it will be pretty minute, right? Pretty small. Even if you are the smartest person in the world, right? This includes me as well. If you were the smartest person in the world, all of the knowledge in the world is so much more than the knowledge that one individual person has. So if you don't believe it to be true based on the knowledge that you know, do you think within all of the knowledge that everyone in this world has that the answer would be out there? Now, I'll give you an example. When I started YouTube, I never really thought I was going to be a cleaning and organizing YouTuber because I, one, don't love cleaning, and two, I'm not good at organizing. I never really was a super organized person, and I thought that if I wanted to make it into this niche, I would need to be a very good organizer, know all the tips and tricks, know how to organize everything perfectly, and I didn't believe that to be true for me. Now, I also never really put a lot of effort into it until I just started doing it. I started getting the knowledge, I started testing out things. Am I the absolute best? No, but I now believe that if I wanted to figure out how to organize a space, that I could do it. Now, that is a simple example, but it's also very powerful because just that belief system has helped change and shape a lot of my life recently. Now, I don't think I'll ever be all color-coded and extreme to the max, but I will be organized in a way to where I can manage it. So just think of a belief that you have that you want, but you feel not to be true for you, and think of ways on how you can change it.
Dry your eyes, I'm not even worried, but I can't hear the silence you describe. Don't be ashamed.
Now, I got this new shower curtain and I had it for a while and never put it up because I needed a smaller shower rod. And I realized when I'm hanging it up, it is way too short to where I need it to be. So I'm not going to use this. I'm going to put back my curtains instead. Yes, those are actually real curtains. They're like the extra long ones. So it gives it extra height and makes it look a little fancier in the bathroom.
In their universe, we're just causing trouble, but nothing can hurt us in our bubble. For better or worse, in an uphill struggle, no regrets and windows down, 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 down. About the others, let's escape the silence together. Just say the word. I don't know when we'll get there, but we're still young. In their universe, we're just causing trouble, but nothing can hurt us in our bubble. For better or worse, uphill struggle, no regrets and windows down, 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 down.
I'm finishing up today's video by cleaning in the closet. We did order the IKEA Pack System closet several months ago, and it's going to just be such a huge project. And Chris has been so busy that we have been procrastinating to get it done. So either maybe in this like winter time, he'll have some more time and he'll slow down a little bit, but until then, I don't know. Hopefully the pieces are even still good. They've been sitting in boxes in our garage, and I'm ready to put it together, but I know that it will be a big project. But I did want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I did hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy the content and you're not subscribed, then I would love for you to subscribe. I have a lot of good content coming out in the next couple of months. But I will see you all next week.
Right now I'm standing in a corner.
Happy New Year, everyone. It is good to be back. I know you came here today for some inspiration, and I have it for you in this video. It seems like just about all of our appliances broke in December, so we'll be getting some new appliances in today's video. We are going to undecorate the fastest you've ever seen me undecorate. Whoosh, we're done. And then we're going to reset for the new year. Now, I used to roll my eyes when people would say, "New year, new me." But the only real way to have a new me or a new you is to leave the past behind and grow. And I'll give you 3 different ways of how you can do that while you're managing your mess and getting your house back in order for the new year. So let's get started. So I really hope that you all had a wonderful holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and a good New Year. I did start off New Year's with a cold, so if you hear my voice kind of crackle a little bit, it's because I'm still recovering from it. But if you're new here, welcome. I'm really glad to have you. My name is Michelle, and I create content that inspires you to make a change in real life messy situations. But let me go back a little bit to what we're doing here. So the day after Thanksgiving, okay, you can imagine all the leftovers that we had. I probably took home like 5 or 6 boxes of leftovers from my mom's house. I went to heat up my leftovers from Thanksgiving, and the heater or whatever in the microwave went out. So the microwave still turned on, it just didn't heat anything. So horrible timing for my microwave to go out. And you guys remember that our washing machine went out about 2 months ago, and it doesn't end there, right? I think all my appliances start talking to each other, and they're like, yep, it's time. Your turn next. Your turn next. So then our dishwasher, it still works. Like, it's hanging on by a thread, but sometimes it takes 12 hours for it from start to finish, cleaning our dishes. And I'm like, okay, can things just stop going out here? And then, like a few days before Christmas, our whole AC unit went out. And I'm just thinking, you know what? There's got to be light at the end of the tunnel. But anyway, for the microwave, we were without a microwave for like 3 weeks because I couldn't figure out which one I wanted. So we went to Best Buy, we looked online for some, and then I found this LG. It says that it's smearless, and I will just kind of clarify, it is not smudgeless. That's what it says. It's smudgeless. The end part is a little bit bent. Every appliance I buy does have some sort of bend in it, but you know, at this point, it's in the back. I don't care. I'm not returning it. I just want to have a working microwave. So my handyman, which happens to also be my husband, Chris, is going to install this for us.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you. Hit you up, I'm on the other side. I miss you. Take you off, I came here way too strong. Cannot keep it low key. Got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof. Auto your taste. It's really a bad reception out there. Where you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me? I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you.
All right, so what did you guys do over the holiday? Did you go skiing? Did you stay at home? Did you have family come in town? Did you go out of town? Give me all the juice. Let me know in the comments below. But we did have a really good Christmas. We stayed home. We hosted Christmas. And man, the kids were home for a long time. That was, lots of sibling fighting. And I'm just glad that everyone's back at school and there's peace and quiet to get the house back together. You may notice here my uneven washer and dryer. And if you don't remember or know the whole story, is that our washing machine went out. And and we had kind of replaced some pieces in the dryer. So we've had the dryer, a repairman come and replace parts in the dryer a couple times. But everything in our house is about 8.5 years old, appliance wise, because that's when we moved into this house. So I just said that I'm going to go ahead and buy the washing machine that day because, we needed a washing machine. And then I would get the dryer around Black Friday if it went on sale. And then for the pedestals, I kept contemplating between getting the pedestal that had a little washer or just getting storage pedestals. So whenever we went to buy the microwave, there was some sort of a deal where if you bought 2 LG appliances and you got a percentage off. So I went ahead and bought the dryer and the microwave at the same time. So next we're going to install the dryer. I'm going to deep clean the laundry room. And then I am also going to put in the pedestals. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm grateful to have a working washer and dryer, but having these uneven washer and dryer was kind of annoying. But the pedestals and raising it up, it does make such a big difference, at least to me. Maybe because the space, with the laundry baskets and everything, the space is so narrow that it just helps.
Feeling so small, watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try.
All right, so let's talk a bit about 2024. So leave me a comment down below and let me know, how do you feel? How do you feel starting off 2024? Do you feel energized? Do you feel like you're ready for something new? Do you feel refreshed? Or do you feel burnt out? So just seriously, how are you doing? So as we all know, New Year is the universal time to start fresh. Doesn't mean we can't do that throughout the year, but it almost seems like we now have permission to start fresh. But how do you actually do that? Do you just start by cleaning up your house and then hoping that your new year is going to start off great and fresh and new? Well, yes, you could definitely do that. That's what I'm doing here. But I think the first thing that is really going to jumpstart you is to set goals. Now, I know that sounds so obvious, and sometimes it can sound even annoying to some people. Now, right after New Year's, I was at a friend's house, and we started asking, what is your goal? What is your New Year's resolution? Do you have anything you want to accomplish in the new year? And mostly everyone said, I don't know. So why are goals really so important? Because goals are what provide the motivation to do something. And studies show that only about 3% of people actually write down their goals. So about 2 years ago, I really took this serious. And last year, I even created, it's called the Goal Getter Guide. It's basically a template that I created to be able to track my goals. And this is different from anyone that I've ever seen before, because not only does it help you track your goals, but it also helps you overcome the obstacles that prevent you from reaching your goals. So I'm going to share it with y'all down below. It's totally free. You just have to, it just asks for your email and then it'll be sent through your email, but it's just a completely free guide that I created for myself and that, I want to share with all of you. It'll help you have more clarity in different areas of your life that you are setting goals for. Whether they are personal, family, or business goals, you can then backtrack on the things that you either need to start doing or maybe even stop doing to meet those goals. Goals also provide motivation. So like this whole cleaning community is about motivation, giving you the motivation to clean your space or organize your home. It all starts with goals. For example, I am not a naturally organized, clean freak type person. I struggle, but there are goals and disciplines that I set for myself that give me the motivation to stay on top of it. So how do you have a new you in the new year? Where the first thing is to set goals. And one of my first goals being hoping that I have enough strength to carry this dryer to the laundry room. But in all seriousness, we opted for the LG and I did get like 2 or 3 bruises trying to get this carried. I kind of dropped it right there and then tried to reshuffle and figure this out. But we got it figured out. So we opted for the LG washer and dryer set with the pedestals. It looks so much better than what we had before. We originally had a Samsung and I asked you guys what your favorite washing machine brand was when we were kind of on the hunt, but we opted for the LG. The sales guy told us the LGs were the best, but from y'all's recommendation, I also got the Whirlpool and Speed Queen. I think those were the top 3. LG, Speed Queen, and Whirlpool were all highly recommended. So I have no complaints. I really like them and hopefully they last me a long time. But I did end up getting just 2 of the storage pedestals instead of the one with the little washer and dryer under it. And I'm going to go ahead and switch and reorganize all of these pedestals next. All right, the next thing or tip on how to create a new you for the new year is to let go of your past. So I went to a couple different church services where they kept talking about letting go of your past. And when I kept thinking about it, I'm like, my past isn't really stopping me from doing anything. I don't feel like that's what's holding me back on anything. So I don't know how this really applies to me. And then I sat down and thought about it. So I don't have any complaints, but we have a couple big decisions to make this year. And I'll tell you guys about it later. But I just feel like the one thing that is stopping me from making a decision to kind of move forward is fear. And when I really sat back and thought about it, the fear is coming from my past. So let's just think about this for a second. So if you are setting goals for 2024, which could be something like get your house back in order, declutter your home, pick spaces to make more organized. A big one is to get back in shape or eat healthier, or maybe it's to budget. There's probably a good chance that you've tried doing some of this before and have not been successful. So what happens is you go into I've tried this and I've tried this and I've tried this and it just doesn't work for me. So now all of these past experiences causes fear for you to not move towards your goals. This is why letting go of your past is so important, because it's like a roadblock to growth and new opportunity. Now, one of the biggest things that I've learned in 2023 from reorganizing my spaces to hitting my income goals and my health goals and my YouTube goals is between all of the hate comments and all of the obstacles, the failures, the spaces I've had to redo, the messes that were made, is that I take it as an experience, a positive learning opportunity, and I keep moving forward. So here is your permission to let all that go.
We used to hang around town pretty late. I spent the week thinking about our next day. It was easier then, so much easier then. Or like that time I picked you up outside of school. You said, screw my dad, I make my own rules. It was easier then, so much easier then. Take me back to those easy summer days when we stopped at nothing, babe. Yeah, we stopped at nothing, baby. They couldn't take us, they couldn't change us, they couldn't catch us if they tried. Now we didn't care at all about winter or spring or fall. We felt so alive, and girl, we were thriving on kisses and sunshine and mischief. Yeah, we had one of those things. We just had one of those things. Ooh. I guess I've had some things to figure out, but now that I'm done, I'm full of doubt. Was it easy for you? Yeah, was it too easy for you? You used to say that you would always be mine, but you seem to be doing just fine. Now I think about you, I just can't seem to stop thinking about you. Take me back to those easy summer days when we stopped at nothing, babe. Yeah, we stopped at nothing, baby. They couldn't take us, they couldn't change us, they couldn't catch us if they tried. Now we didn't care at all about winter or spring or fall. We felt so alive, and girl, we were thriving on kisses and sunshine and mischief. Yeah, we had one of those things.
Now I have Christmas taken down, and okay, there seems to be controversy about when to take down Christmas decorations, just like there is and when to put up Christmas decorations. And I will say that in the last 2 years, I did start taking down Christmas the day after Christmas, opposed to after New Year. Now, if you've seen any of my Christmas decorating videos, you know that I go all out, and I kid you not when I say it takes me at least 3 weeks, not consistently every day, but 3 weeks to almost a month to put up all of my decorations. That includes inside and outside, and I have 3 kids, so it's not like I can do it all at once. And then keep in mind the planning and the filming and all the extra stuff that goes into it also takes a lot of time. So I started this year on the last week of October. I know that's not normal for most people, but when you are creating content around it, you have to get up videos a little bit earlier than what you would if you didn't create content on it. But I started my dining room the last weekend of October. So yes, by Christmas or the day after Christmas, I'm ready to get it down. Not because I want to look at it. I don't want to take it down, but I know how much work it is, so I want the work to be behind me, if that makes any sense. And that's also when I have the most free time to do it. Now, within that, I also started a new outdoor project. So that video is coming up. We added wood paneling to the ceiling of our patio. Our patio is going to look amazing. So we have that project going on the same time I'm cleaning up this area. So like whenever it goes to the back patio windows, you'll see Chris working outside. But I also want a lot of the kitchen clutter gone. So one of my goals is to like open and empty up the space in the kitchen a little bit. One way we did that is I did get Chris a new coffee machine for Christmas. So before we had two separate machines. He loved the Keurig and I loved the Nespresso. So we had two big old machines on the counter, and we ended up just getting one coffee machine and got rid of both of our machines. So that clears up a bit of space, a bit of the space here. Gosh, I can't talk. But our house does feel super empty. I don't know. Does anyone else feel that way? Maybe because like from the beginning of spring, like Easter time is when I start adding home decor, seasonal decor, and then it goes all the way through Christmas. You know, as the seasons change, I just change up the decor. And then these couple of months are the months where it's the most bare. Now, I was thinking of adding some wintry decorations. I want to add maybe some blue, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'm just going to keep it to a bare minimum and then use this time to do a lot of decluttering. Now, I will spill one secret. During the break, we started looking at new houses, but I don't know. I don't know if it feels aligned. We're just really going back and forth on what, big changes we're going to do this year, and we don't know if it's going to be that or if we're going to wait. So I don't know. I don't know. But when I find out, I'll let y'all know. Now, we do love this house. We built it from the ground up 8.5, almost 9 years ago. The only thing is that the space it's enough space, but it's not functional space the way that I want it. Like, we don't have a good eating area, right? I have a little kids table in the middle of our living room where the kids eat. Our dining room is my office. Our office is like a junk room. I mean, could we make it all work and reconfigure it? Absolutely. But it's just, I don't know. There's certain things that I like specifically, like I'm particular about, is like having an office in the front of the house by the front window. Like that is something I'm particular about. And that's why our dining room is our office. And like all of these spaces are not super functional, but we're making it work. So we just don't know yet what our future looks like. Now, with that being said, now that like moving is kind of in our brains, I guess you can say, is in the works. So if it's not now, maybe it'll be in the next year, is that I do want to focus this year on more decluttering, fixing the house up, or just finishing the projects that we have, like our closet, our outdoor space, and then just getting it ready.
A couple hours from Japan, would you stay awake? I'm losing touch of who I am when you're far away. And I feel like I'm running in circles around you. And I know I've been acting strange for a while, but I want you close. Ooh, closer than before. And no one knows that I want you close. I'm not overthinking feelings. I just need you to know that I want you.
All right, so continuing on how to create a new you in the new year. After you have first set your goals, use my goal getter guide, please. Or if you don't use it, then at least write down your goals and how you're going to accomplish them. Step 2 is letting go. Letting go of the fears that you have that are holding you back from going and getting your new goals. And lastly, step 3, do something new this year. And what I mean by new is do something new that is going to challenge you, that steps out of your comfort zone, that creates growth. Now, could that be going and finding a new restaurant to eat at? Well, if you're like a super picky eater and you don't ever eat anything, and going and trying a new restaurant and trying different types of food has been very scary for you, but you're finally open to trying it, then yes. If you're like me, where you'll eat anything and going and eating new food is more like a luxury than a challenge, then try something different. Maybe instead of budgeting for a new purse or a new pair of shoes, budget for a new experience. Go somewhere you've never been before. Maybe it's decluttering more. Now, I've opened up about it being hard for me to declutter. I don't know why. I have like personal attachment to things, so it's hard for me to like let go of things. But one of my goals is to make it more easy for me to declutter. Maybe it's finally starting a side business and earning an extra income like you've always wanted to. I know when I started my channel 3.5 years ago, I was so scared. It pushed me out of my comfort zone, but it opened my eyes to endless possibilities and so many opportunities. I know I said not to look back, but when I do look back at myself, everything I'm doing now, 3 years ago, I said was not possible for me. It just, those types of things don't happen to people like me. I would say things like, I have no time, I have no experience, I am busy, I don't know what I'm doing. But I just had to let all of that go and actually do it. One of my other goals for 2024 is to help more on a personal level, which is one of the things I launched last year was the YouTube Power Kit. This kit includes the 7 steps to getting started on YouTube. If you feel like you've always wanted to share your passion, share your business, share what you've always wanted to through YouTube and make an income by doing it. So you can download that free guide below in my links below. And later this month, I'm launching the YouTube Power Program, which is a course designed to teach you how to create a YouTube channel, differentiate yourself on YouTube, and make money through YouTube so that you can leave all the old stuff behind and create the life you want on your own time. And this isn't someone else teaching the course for me. This is me capping it off. So there's not going to be hundreds of people in this group. It's going to be a small group, coaching sessions directly through me, and a course that I've worked on so hard to give you all the information that I've learned and experienced throughout the years. So more information on that is in my description box below. But definitely the third and final thing is to try something new that's going to push you out of your comfort zone, because you're not going to grow unless you get uncomfortable. And think about the times where you've made the biggest growth in your life, whether you've wanted to or not, were through the difficult times and the uncomfortable times. So I challenge you to purposely take on something uncomfortable and challenge yourself this year.
Let me feel your love again, 'cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the two of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night. Everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand.
you by my side. Let me feel your love again. Just the two of us, and we could stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night. Everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand.
So once all of the Christmas decorations were put away, I saved the big tree for last. She stayed with us until my birthday, probably. My birthday is December 28th, so it's like just the most awkward time of year to have a birthday. So shout out to all the December birthdays. But I usually spend my birthday putting away this tree, and then I go to dinner with my family. We usually go to Taste of Texas. So if you're from Houston, you know that steakhouse, but there was a 3-hour wait. They don't really take reservations unless I'm mistaken. You just have to like go and get in line. So we had to improvise and go to a different restaurant, which it was all still great. Bad thing about having your birthday like during this time is that the weekend before is like Christmas time and the weekend after is New Year's time. So for me, I am very particular about having it be exactly on that day. Yes, I could celebrate it out, like far out, but it doesn't feel right. So it's just dinner on that day. But I'm lucky to have a husband and a bunch of kids who have really good birthday months, all like close to summer, because there's so much to do in the summertime outside, which I think summer is actually my favorite season. I know I may have said another season, but I think it's summer because I just like being outside and by the water. Which leads me to ask, are you more of a summer person or a like cooler climate person? By the mountains or by the beach? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I do remember when I was so mad taking apart this couch. I was so angry. I was so mad. I just wanted it to be back together, and the more mad I got, the more and more this couch did not come apart. It's funny how that happens when you're mad. The worse it gets. So I called Chris to come help me put this couch back together. But we have to move it back so that we can fit the Christmas tree in that spot, and then whenever, we take the tree down, then we move it closer toward the TV. So I'm going to get this living room put back together.
I'm staring through your window, looking up at the stars, up at the stars. I'm caught inside a loop where I can get to your heart, get to your heart. Ooh, you're letting your fears take hold, let them take control, and it's making me crazy. If you could only look at me, you know how I feel, know how I feel. Oh, see how much I want it, see how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. That's how much I want it, that's how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. Think twice before you let me go. My eyes are mirrors of my soul. See how much I want it, see how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. Look into.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on my first video of the new year. I hope that you got something out of it. If you're new and you felt like you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. And I will see all of y'all next week.
I got a comment from someone on my last video that said, "You make cleaning fun." So here we are in today's video picking up all the good stuff. Well, not really, but I'll be picking up all kinds of stuff and deep cleaning this house. Now, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever looked at someone's social media or their home and it's actually discouraged you to keep going instead of inspired you? Well, that little roadblock called comparison is what we're not going to do in today's video because we're going to be really inspired. I'll give you 3 tips to get all of that out of your system so that you can focus on what's important, which is running your own race and getting your goals down on paper, getting them clear, and then going after them. Yes, it's messy along the way, and I mean that literally, but let's go ahead and get started. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle, and I really am glad to have you. Every day, there's a new mess. It never ends, but we're still going. So some of this was recorded a little bit in December, so you'll see some Christmas up, but hopefully some of it down. So I ordered this new runner rug in the kitchen because Chris ruined my other rug. He took it outside and hosed it down. It was pretty dirty. Power washed it, hosed it down, hung it up to dry, and then when it dried, it stretched it out, and it was just, he ruined it. Just the way that it was hung dry, I don't know how to explain it, but it's all good. It was old, it was dirty. So anyway, I ordered this new rug and I love it. The only problem is that it is super soft. Like, I love that it's super soft, but it's in the kitchen area. So we're gonna just try our best. Probably not the best rug to be in my kitchen as a runner, but I love it so much. So we're just gonna figure it out. But speaking of rugs, now over in my living room, if you guys know, my dog will be 14 this year, and this is an everyday occurrence. I don't always show me picking up poop, but yeah. So somebody did ask me about this little green machine and making sure that it doesn't leak. Sometimes it leaks, like where you put the water and the soap in. Sometimes it doesn't. Just make sure that it's tight. And then I use this Folex cleaner because it does get a lot of the stains out. So I'm going to Folex spray it, and then I'm going to try and get all of these stains out.
I met before. It's the same as always, waiting at the airport with your coat and gloves. Same time every winter, smiling like you knew me. And now all my emotions are searching for you in places we've never been. Now I'm starting to realize the chance I've been given, but I am so afraid.
So it's the Bissell green machine. You may have seen it around on other people's channels, but it has been a lifesaver in the last couple of years. You can see that there are still, for the most part, it got it out, but like you can kind of still see a little bit in some areas. So I just kind of go over it with the Folex, or I just keep scrubbing. So you put like some solution in one side of it, and then there's a button that you press and it sprays out the water, and then that's what you are vacuuming or sucking up. So you can see all the stuff it sucked up just in those little spots. And I got it at Walmart, but they kind of sell it everywhere, so I use it for like spot cleaning like this. And now that's pretty gross because we all know what that is, but for a bigger area, then I'll pull out the bigger shampooer. Now, this is kind of a funny story. I told y'all last week that all of our appliances went out. Not all of them, but like they all kind of tag teamed together and decided to go out, including the first to go was our washing machine, and then our microwave went out the day after Thanksgiving. So I go looking for microwaves, and I actually go looking for a different coffee machine, and I come home with the Breville toaster oven. Chris is like, why did you buy a toaster oven? Okay, here's the story behind it. Our toaster oven's kind of old, but it did still work. But anyway, we were looking at getting an air fryer, and we don't have an air fryer, but I didn't want an air fryer like on top of our counters. I needed to declutter more. So when I went to go look at coffee machines, it was a Christmas sale, and this hat was a cooler toaster oven, and then it also had an air fryer. So I was like, cool, 2-in-1 deal, sign me up. And it was funny because I told the lady, I'm like, how is this that Breville? And she goes, oh, you mean the Breville? I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. So anyway, I love this toaster oven. I'm setting it up. I know I didn't need it, but in reality, I did need it. I pulled a girl math calculation here. We used this sucker to heat up everything while our microwave was out. If you don't own a toaster oven, you're missing out. I had a friend say, well, I don't want a toaster oven on our counter, but we have like a little toaster. And I'm like, no. Get rid of your toaster. Get rid of your air fryer. This sucker does it all. It's really cool. I do like it. So that basically saved me from having to clean my old toaster, and I did give it away. So those are the different little settings on there. And you can bake, you can make pizza, broil, warm, air fry, all the things. So she's a beauty. She's blue, which is kind of different for appliances. They did have stainless steel, but you would have had to order that one. This one was right there, and I love it. I like the color too. Let me know what y'all think about different colored appliances. You like the blue or you like the stainless steel? If you watched last week's video, yes, I did get a new dryer, but this was filmed before that, but the amount of laundry is the same. So we are going to catch up on that next. But one thing real quick, I wanted to say that YouTube has been amazing for our family and this community that we have built together. And if you've ever wanted to start your own YouTube channel, please download my YouTube Power Kit below. It's a free kit that I'm giving away to kind of give you an overview of YouTube and how to get started. Later this month, I'll be launching my course to help people who want to create a YouTube channel to actually go after their dreams and do it. So make sure you download the YouTube Power Kit so that you get on my email list so that you know when the course launches. I also have a free goal getter guide, and basically what this does is help you find clarity on how to reach and achieve your goals. So a few days ago, I'm sitting down and I'm thinking about what my goals are. And a lot of time it's hard to determine what your goals are because you don't have clarity on what it is exactly that you want. So I'm starting to think, okay, what is it that I really want for this year? And I'm starting to come up with a list. Well, I want to be able to really declutter my house, but I saw this person on social media. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it like that. And then I'm thinking, okay, I really want to be able to get up at 5:30 in the morning because I saw this other girl's morning routine, but I don't know if that's really going to be realistic for me. And then I'm looking, okay, this person went to, Disney World twice this year, or they were in Mexico, and I really, really want to go to Mexico like this girl, but that's just like not even possible for me, the way my budget's looking. So you see the pattern here, and we all do it, is that we're like scrolling down social media and going, oh yeah, it would be nice to be on vacation like so-and-so. And it's like we think, oh, well, not everybody lives in a fantasy world, and social media is a highlight reel. So the truth is, at least for me, when this starts happening, it totally crushes any of the goals that I want because I'm comparing them to the way that other people do them. And then I start making excuses and comparisons about how that's not realistic for me. All right, so here's the thing though. The first thing, is that we are all running this race of life. We're all here, but we've all been dealt different cards of life. We've all had different experiences. We have all had different upbringings and struggles and lessons learned. And the person on the other side, whether it's like your social media or someone you know, a friend, a parent, other mom at the school, they have different experiences and they are running a different race. That's not your lane and you're not meant for that path. Even if that person is doing slightly better than you at something that you want to be better at. So all of those other people, they were dealt a different set of cards. They were dealt a different deck. But guess what? You were dealt these cards and you are going to figure out how to play them. Maybe you have to trade some off. Maybe you have to keep some. Whatever it is, this is your race. This is your game. So don't let someone else's deck of cards put you completely out of the game. This is also why horses wear blinders in horse races, to keep them focused, to keep them not distracted by what's going on around them, and to keep them doing their own thing in their race. All right, next I'm moving on to the living room. The couch cushions, they're pretty bad. I'm pretty sure that is chocolate all over, and then there's just I don't know, you know, at this point in life you're just like, I don't even know what's all over the couch, but I know that it's not good. Now, I don't enjoy taking all of the cushions off and washing them because that is like an Olympic sport and it takes forever because I have to do it all on gentle cycle, delicate, and it just takes a long time. So I have to do it when everybody's gone because, you know, we're pretty much out of a couch for a day. But that is what I'm going to do now. All right, so tip number 2 for not falling into the comparison trap so that you can continue on your goals is to stop playing victim of what you don't have. I think that when we start comparing ourselves to other people, other things, other people's houses, other people's routines, we often just start thinking of what that person has and what we don't have. And then when the excuses start coming, then we just don't do it. We don't take any action. I'm going to give you an example of how this has happened to me. So when I first, started here on YouTube, my house was extremely disorganized. I kind of learned to live in this disorganized space. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. But all of these shows started coming out on Netflix. The Marie Kondo show, you guys know what I'm talking about. The Home Edit. And like organization kind of became a big thing, or maybe it just became a big thing to me because I started noticing it more. And even though I really wanted to be not disorganized, be more organized, I made every excuse in the book why I wouldn't do it. And one, because I don't have the Home Edits containers, and those containers are too expensive, so I'm not going to do it. Or I don't have the time to fold my clothes like Marie Kondo. Am I saying that right? Marie Kondo. And I cannot post an organization video because I don't have the skills like all of these other people. So I'm just not going to do it. And that was one of my goals. And then I crossed it off my list because I'm like, I can't organize like these people, and I can't fold like those people, and I don't have the time and the budget for containers like all of these people to make it so aesthetically beautiful. And I don't have the skills to post an organization video on YouTube. But I started off in my pantry, and I came up with a small budget. I went to IKEA. I bought a couple containers, and my first thing was just to declutter the stuff I don't need, right? So instead of just kind of stopping everything, and just a quick thing, those are strawberry stems. Thank you to my kids. You never know what you're going to find in my couch. But I started in the pantry, and it took a long time. I didn't know exactly how to do it and what I was doing, but it was a start. Then as I kind of started figuring out, I created a budget to get a couple more containers. But I think that we always think that it has to be exactly the way that that person did it. But like I said before, that's not your path, right? You need to figure out how it's going to work for you. And you can start with the smallest step. And now here I am a couple years later. It's still crazy. It's still somewhat disorganized, but it'll never be back to the way it was before. Is your goal worth it enough for you to put all that stuff aside and just go for it?
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my
So the vacuum I'm using here, the handheld one, is the Tinco. Somebody questioned that I was sponsored by Eureka. All of these vacuum brands I've been sponsored by, and I like them all. So my only thing is, if you're searching for the right vacuum, handheld vacuum, it depends on your budget. I think that the more money the vacuum is, then like the more fancier features it's going to have. But if you don't need all the bells and whistles, like this one has a little thing to show you the suction power. If you don't need all the bells and whistles, then the more affordable vacuum will work just for you. My favorite for the strongest suction on couches, because sometimes the dog hair will get stuck on the side of the couch, is the Dyson. And I'm talking strictly about cordless vacuums. I was never sponsored by Dyson, but I feel like though they have been the most powerful vacuum. I've gotten all of my Dysons at Costco. But the battery has gone out. Like the battery is completely dead, and it won't charge at all. So on one of them, we have had to replace the battery. I ordered a dupe battery off-brand battery from Amazon and did it, but it didn't last very long. So that's when we ended up buying, there's the Eureka. So yeah, it depends on what you want, what your needs are. If you have pets and kids and need, super strong suction, then I would tell you to go with a little bit more expensive one. But like, let's say, for example, my mom, she has no pets, no kids, just small messes here and there. I don't think she needs to spend a lot of money on the most expensive vacuum out there. All right, so next I'm going to pull out the carpet shampooer. This is the Bissell Pet Pro, and I'm going to shampoo this rug. This rug is from a place called Miss Amira. I got it online. I've had a couple questions on it. It's kind of like a performance rug, and also the rug I got like earlier in this video, that was a softer rug, but they were from the same place. So the last tip in reaching your goals, because it's January and that's what we're talking about this month, after tip 1, which is running your own race, staying in the game. Number 2, don't fall victim of comparing yourself to what other people have. And number 3 is more of a choice that you're going to make. And you're either going to buckle up and stay put, or you're going to keep going. I've received a lot of messages from people saying that they had a really hard year in 2023. Maybe throughout the year you stopped taking care of yourself and even lost a bit of yourself through that. But you're not here today because you're an average person. I like to think that average people don't watch my channel. Extraordinary people watch my channel and can handle the type of content and the messiness and the dirtiness that I have. And you're here today to make the choice to keep going. Now that's a dirty rug, and I kind of have a funny story. But I'll share that in a minute. Next, I'm going to work on putting all of the couch cushions back on the couch, which is an Olympic sport in itself.
Cause you know the world is beautiful, so beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful, so beautiful. And I just can't hide how I feel about you. Nothing can take that away. Cause you make the world so beautiful, so beautiful. And I just can't hide how I feel about you. Nothing can take that away. Cause you make the world so beautiful, so beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful, so beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful. So beautiful, so beautiful.
So over the break, we got invited to a friend's house in Wimberley, which is hill country area, which is like a 2.5 hour drive from our house. We have friends that live out there, and they invited a group of people to do like wine tours because there's like kind of wineries over there. And we had one night. So we found a sitter to watch the kids for one night. Well, my sister-in-law. And we were going to leave at 10 a.m. and make it to the wine bus. They had this bus that was going to take us to different places by 1 p.m. So we get everyone ready, we get everyone set, and we head off on the road. So we're driving, and about an hour and a half in, Chris keeps saying, like, do you hear that noise? And I'm like, nope. I'm in denial of anything. I'm like, we're not having car trouble on this one trip. But anyway, so I have to go to the restroom. So we pull over. We're an hour and a half in. We pull over to Buc-ee's. And as we're slowing down at the stoplight to pull in, the hood of my car starts smoking. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So like I said, we're an hour and a half into the drive, and we're about an hour away from still from where we need to be. And we're on a time limit, right? We want to make that 1 o'clock bus. And we pull in and we park right next to all the Teslas, right? They're all charging their cars, and my big old gas car is just smoking from the hood. And I'm mortified. You can only imagine. I'm freaking out. And I'm like, Chris, what do we do? He's like, I think it's the coolant leaking. I'm not sure. He knows a little bit about cars. So he's like, I'm going to go buy coolant and water, and I don't know, whatever's there. It's just leaking everywhere. I don't know enough about cars to tell you exactly what was going on. But he's like, well, we need to like at least drive to, let's see if we can make it there. And we'll drive to like the nearest car repair shop. So we get back in the car, we go, the car sounds horrible. I'm like, we need to drive to a car place now. So we're in a small town. We pull into this little shop. They're like, we'll just leave the car here till Monday and then we'll check on it. We're closed today. I'm like, nope, that's not going to happen. So we are like, okay, well, we'll drive to like a car parts store. At least Chris can maybe like rent some tools and fix our car, and we can get onto the side of the road. And I'm like, we need to go home. We need to call a tow truck. We're going home. We're done. I give up. This is just worst case scenario. Of course, this would happen to me, playing the victim. And we just call the tow truck. He's like, no, Michelle, I can fix it. I just need to see what's going on. So we try to find like a car part, like an O'Reilly or like a car parts where he can do that. And right when we're like about to U-turn, there's an oil change shop. So he's like, I'm going to pull in here and see if they can like get under the hood and look at it. So no one was there, luckily, but they were open. So we did that, and they kind of looked at it. They're like, your water pump is completely gone. You need a new water pump, and we're not fixing the car, right? We're an oil change shop. So Chris is like, no, you guys can do it. We can do it. I'll show you how to do it. So they're on Google looking up everything. He's like, see how easy it is? You just do these bolts and then just put it on. It's so easy. So then they agree to do it. And I'm just like, we just need to tow it home. We just need to go home. And I'm, freaking out. And anyway, so they get the part. So somebody from a shop drove the part over. We were there for a good 3 hours. We did miss the bus, but Chris is in there fixing it. They're all fixing it. And somehow we made it on the trip. We still made it. We made it to the second winery, but we missed the bus, which is fine. But I couldn't believe that we made it. And I'm over here complaining and like crying and like, why does this have to happen? But then I start thinking, oh man, I am actually so glad that it happened when we didn't have our kids with us. I'm so glad that Chris knew what to do. I'm so glad this little shop was open, and I'm so glad that they got the part and actually fixed the car. Me crying and complaining about it obviously didn't help, but we just had to have a little bit of faith. But while we were waiting, we did like some antiquing. There was walkable shops close by. So we like walked around and did some antiquing, and we actually, despite the inconvenience, we had a really good time. So sometimes some things just work out when you don't expect it.
Isn't this the good life? Sitting on the front porch, sipping on the rocks, citrus in our beverages. Citrus in our beverages, show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering our faces. You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. On and on it goes, round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute, taking my time to begin with. On and on it goes, swinging down in life, breathing out air for a minute. Hey, would you rather stay right here? Make everything disappear?
calm down? Why don't we all calm down? I think I'm the wrong size. Not enough room for everybody's egos. Why don't we all calm down? Why don't we all calm down? And on it goes, round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute, taking my time to begin with. On and on it goes, swinging down in life, you know. Breathing out air for a minute, yeah. Hey, would you rather stay right here, make everything disappear? Keep playing my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we stay right here, make everything disappear? Lay low in the beaches, sun, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah. It's a good life, sitting on the front porch, sipping on the rocks. Citrus in our beverages, citrus in our beverages. Show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering her faces. You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. Hey, would you rather stay right here, make everything disappear? Keep playing my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we stay right here, make everything.
But thank you guys so much for watching. You are so special. That's why you're here. But if you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe. And I will see y'all next week. I used to think that if my house was not cleaned up 24/7, then the mess would control me. The truth is that when it was cleaned up 24/7, it was the cleaning that controlled me. Well, you might be asking, how do you find balance? Well, I'm so glad you asked that, because we're going to talk about that in today's video while I clean up and reset my home. The kitchen cabinets, the bedroom, the living room, and starting the upstairs is what I'm focusing on today. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle. I do have 3 small kids, 6, 4, and 1, a 14-year-old dog, and an awesome husband. If I'm being completely honest, I started a cleaning channel not because I love to clean, but because I'm in one of the most chaotic seasons of my life, hence my son throwing food all over the dog who is trying to eat it. It won't always be this way, but for now it is. On my channel, you'll never feel judged for not having it all together, because the goal of my channel is to inspire you to move forward from wherever you've been in the past. There's no perfect person or perfect home, so let's not try and pretend that there is. So if you're here cleaning with me today or just watching for inspiration, then I am really glad to have you here. So just to give you some perspective, it's a Saturday morning. I'm going to start in the kitchen and living room.
Been driving around, singing songs way too loud because we wanna. Picking up our love friends, fill up the car till it bends because we wanna. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention.
So stickers are a lot of fun until they start sticking them all over the table and the walls. So the girls were coloring and making posters and signs last night, and they hung all of these posters all throughout the house, and I didn't realize that they were sticking stickers all over this table, but luckily they're fairly easy to get out as long as you have some long fingernails. Luckily, the 2 times of year I actually get my nails done, they came in handy. I'm sure there's a spray or something more clever that you could probably spray on here to get them all out, but I'm just going to go the old school way and scrape them off. So if you've been watching me for several years, then this might surprise you, but believe it or not, I used to be very obsessed with cleaning. And again, not because I absolutely loved cleaning, but more so because I felt like I needed control. I don't like not knowing what to expect. I don't like having just feeling like there's weight on my shoulders or having things to do. In case someone came over to our house unexpectedly, it would just be like, oh, look how nice and neat my house is. And I wouldn't have to worry about what other people thought. And let's just be real. It feels good to have a nice, clean home. But then here's where it got tricky. And maybe you can relate to this as well. We moved and got a bigger house. So what does that mean? Okay, more to clean. Okay, that's manageable. We had our first kid. We had our second kid. At the time, we had 2 dogs. We had our third kid. And then after a while, you're like, wow, this is a lot. There is a lot to keep up with. And at the time, it always felt like it was just me against everyone. And then it started getting to the point where I wasn't having fun anymore because I would almost, I guess you can say, punish myself. Like, we can't go here until the house is clean. We can't do this until this is picked up. We can't go to bed until this is all done. We can't do this until this is this way or it's cleaned up this way. And then I would start getting mad at everyone. Why aren't you helping? Why aren't you doing this? Why can't you put your dishes in the sink? And then it just became so, I don't want to say toxic, but that's kind of how it felt. Now, there were things that I did, I would say almost to myself, because I always kind of had that control and wanted that control. I always thought it would be better if I just did it. So when it got to the point where I couldn't manage everything, then I would get mad that no one else would help, where in reality, I was the one that always wanted control for so long. So there just came a point in time where I needed to start giving up some of that control and being okay with the fact that sometimes it's not going to be perfect. Now, did that happen overnight? No, it was a struggle. But I did feel like the less I tried to make everything perfect all the time, then the more freedom I got back. Now, I'm not saying completely abandon your home, and there's a nice brush stuck in the blanket, but what I'm trying to say is finding the right balance. Now, what I've seen is like the most popular way to find balance is to find the perfect routine. And a lot of people are routine based when it comes to picking up. You know, you do the dishes and laundry every night. On Sundays, you wash your sheets. On the 3rd of every month, you declutter. And you just have this great routine and it works for you. So a lot of times I've tried routine. But what I have found is that sometimes when I'm off my routine, then like I don't do the dishes at night, then I kind of get hard on myself. Like I would think, oh man, I was so lazy last night, when in fact I just had no energy. So what I have found best, and I kind of just made this up, was that I worked best in sprints, meaning that I can just focus and get a lot done in a short period of time and then take a break. And then the next day or even the following day, I will do like another sprint where I will just knock it all out, and then I will rest. But it's not on a specific routine. Like it's not all on Sunday, or it's not all on Mondays. It's just when I feel it's needed and when I have the energy to knock it out. I also can knock it out during the time of day where I have the most energy, which for me is like in the morning, kind of after my cup of coffee. So mid-morning time. This is just where I'm not mad about it. I'm not angry about it. I'm not exhausted at the end of the day trying to just fit all this stuff in. I'm just ready to go. Now, do I do routinely stuff too? Yes, I do. I do try and do the dishes every night, but I don't force myself to do it when I don't have the energy. I'll just say, I'll knock it out the next day if I have to. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you feel like you are more routine-based to stay balanced, or do you feel like you are more sprint-based? Leave me a comment below.
Isn't this the good life? Sitting on the front porch, sipping on the rocks, citrus in our beverages. Citrus in our beverages, show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering our faces. You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. On and on it goes, round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute, taking my time to begin with. On and on it goes, swinging down in life, breathing out air for a minute. Would you rather stay right here, make everything disappear? Keep playing my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we stay right here, make everything disappear? Lay low in the beaching sun, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah. Listen to me crime, to get a little lost in everybody's business. Why don't we all calm down? Why don't we all calm down? I think I'm the wrong size, not enough room for everybody's egos. Why don't we all calm down? Why don't we all calm down? On and on it goes, round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute, taking my time to begin with. On and on it goes, swinging down in life, breathing out air for a minute. Yeah. Hey, would you rather stay right here, make everything disappear? Keep playing my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we stay right here, make everything disappear? Lay low in the beaching sun, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah. This is a good life, sitting on the front porch, sipping on a rock, citrus in a bag.
Now, I do feel like you can also be on the other side of this where you're either cleaning all day, every day, or you're just not cleaning at all. So I had a friend that works at a women's treatment center, and about a year ago or so, she asked me to come speak and teach a life skills class at to the adolescent girls at the treatment center, and talk about cleaning and organizing. And I said, well, I will come and volunteer to speak, but I am not an expert at cleaning and organizing. I am just a normal human being cleaning my house day by day, but I don't mind coming and speaking to the girls. So I go in and I'm talking a lot about like getting motivated to clean and steps you could take to get motivated. And then one of the girls came to me and said, well, what should I do if I can't stop cleaning? Like, it's not good enough. Nothing's perfect enough. I go back and I keep cleaning. And I kind of panicked. I didn't really know what to say. And I think just like with all of us or any of us, there's not just one thing. There's not just one step or one thing that you do that just makes all of your problems disappear. But there's always just this one quote that keeps popping up in my head. And I've said it before. And it's by Maya Angelou. And it's, if you don't like something, then change it. If you can't change it, then change your attitude. And what this means to me is that you're not going to ever be motivated to change the way that you are, to change your surroundings, to change anything unless you want to. You're going to have a new perspective, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. And just like a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist or anything like that, but I just feel like I've made the biggest leaps and bounds in changing things that I don't like. First, by changing my attitude about it and changing my perspective on it. Whether that be working in sprints, whether that be finding a routine, that can help me find the balance. So have a clear perspective on what you want and why you want it. There's a saying that says that most people would rather run away from pain than towards pleasure. And then it'll help you be motivated to stay consistent with the uncomfortable things you have to do in order to change it. And to find the balance. So what does that mean for me? That meant that I had to be okay with seeing a mess, sometimes. And that's what helped me mentally. And that actually is what helped evolve and create this entire community that I didn't know would ever exist. Giving up some control to help me have more freedom. Now, over time, I'm like, I got to get some control back. And that's a little how this channel evolved, was finding the right balance. Sometimes I've got to give some control up, and sometimes I got to take some control back. But either way, here we are.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out. So try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me. No, nothing can break me.
So I put this clip in here because I bought this stuff. You might have heard of it. It was like an ad that I got on Amazon. I ended up buying it. And Rye, my 1-year-old, okay, here it is. Miss Mouth's Messy Eater Stain Remover. Rye had gotten new pajamas and spilt blueberries on them. And I was like crying because they were brand new. And I used this and it got it out instantly. So this is the second time he has spilt blueberries on some of his nicer pajamas. And I like spray it on there and it instantly comes out. It's a magical spray that dissolves smeared blueberries out of pajamas and more. But I like this spray. I love this spray on it gets out most stuff. Most stuff that I've used it on, it's gotten out. So I just wanted to, when he did it one more time, I'm like, I'm going to film this just so that I can have it on camera that this stuff is really cool. All right, next is my bedroom. I'm going to start cleaning up, doing a little bit of laundry, and getting all of it picked up.
Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me. No, nothing can break me. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me.
Something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own will. It's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good on me now. A breeze in my ear, 'cause you know I cannot say no to you. Feeling like home, but should it be like this? Locked up in your dome, you know I fight for you. What do I do? Every time you call my name, what do I do? You're whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I we can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. I find myself apologizing when you've started it. Why? Under a spell, I really wonder how did it come to this? Go see my friends, but then I realize they're all your friends. Is this who I am? You see me running around in circles, feeling so sweet, but should it be like this? I'm loving the heat, I think I'm losing it. What do I do? Every time you call my name, what do I do? You're whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I we can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. Is this really healthy? Maybe I need therapy, yeah. Red carpet for you. Let me hold your bag. I'll carry your shoes. I think I've lost it. What do I do? Every time you call my name, what do I do? You're whipping me into madness.
One of my big goals for this year is to go through and declutter a ton of stuff. Out of all of the homemaking type tasks you can do in a home, decluttering has been probably the most challenging for me, besides cooking and staying consistent with cooking. I've realized that I don't like getting rid of stuff because I always resort to the just in case. Just in case this comes up, or just in case I need this, or just in case this happens, I'll have backup. The other thing I tell myself is I spent X amount of dollars on this, so I hate to just get rid of it. But right, does anyone else say that? So I kind of have to do it a little bit at a time. And in fact, next week's video is a whole decluttering video. But in this video, I'm going to start just this section of the upstairs. Now that whole pile is everything I brought that was downstairs. And I'm going to go through, try and organize, and then declutter a little bit of it. Now, different strategies to use. So I also have this problem where I don't like being told what to do or what I should do or need to do. I have to kind of want it for myself. So when I do sometimes look at advice or channels and they're like, you just need to get rid of this because it's causing you headache. You just need to do this. You just need to do this. You just need to ask yourself this. And I get overwhelmed and resistant to want to do it because, like, for those people, it makes sense because they're professionals at it and it's so easy for them to do it. But then when it's you doing it, it's like, well, why aren't I allowed to keep this? And it's not that way, and it's not them. It's like me, right? It's me wanting to just do it my own way and like not feeling so much pressure about what is the right way or what I should do. I just have to like get the feeling that it's okay. So each space, I also feel something different. Like in my kitchen, I made a plan of things, way I wanted to reorganize stuff and get rid of stuff. And in here, I'm just kind of going at it with toys. It's just like, if it's broken, it's done. If the markers are dry, it's done. But if my kids play with it and all the accessories with it, like all the the huge amount of Barbie stuff, then I'm going to respect them and keep it, even though it makes a mess sometimes. Now, I remember watching an episode of Hoarders, and when you first watch it, you're a little bit like taken back, right? But then when you start actually listening to their, the story, it's a lot more emotional and stuff. But whenever one of the ladies was helping out a gentleman with his house, he didn't want to get rid of anything, right? And the goal was for them to go in and start helping these people get rid of stuff. And he keeps going like, I spent this money, I bought this from this. And she keeps going, Joe, or I don't remember his name, but let's just pretend like it's Joe. She's like, Joe, you're going to be getting rid of hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff. You need to do this. And granted, like their situation was a little bit different than mine, but whenever I go through stuff and I'm in a place where I feel really blessed where I'm able to donate most of my stuff, I hardly ever resell anything. I either gift to friends or I donate. Now, have I resold stuff? Yes. Have we done garage sales before? Yes. But most of the time, I'm not out to make money off of things I've already used. I just am in a place where I feel really good about donating it. So I keep going, like some things that are harder to donate. I'm like, think about the person who's going to get this. You're going to be getting rid of hundreds of dollars worth of stuff, and that's okay. So I have to like mentally tell myself like, you're doing a good thing. You're doing a good thing. And try not to make it all about me. Like, how much money am I losing? Or how much money have I wasted? Or how much money, it's like, how many people am I helping by giving this to someone else? Now, when I did my closet declutter video, I had a lot of comments. Like that one was a mess, but I had a lot of comments like, your waste, like, cause I had clothes with tags on them that I got rid of that I knew I was never going to wear, but like, you're so wasteful. You wasted all this money. You're just, and I'm like, I don't really see it that way. You may see it that way. I see it as, guess how many people who didn't have clothes who I was able to give clothes to. So when you're trying to do things that are challenging, right, it's all about perspective.
I'm going out with you tonight. Are you close to here? I'm feeling down, I don't know why. No, it's so surreal. Think I want you here.
So I have a bunch of containers, and here are their memory boxes. Again, I created these memory boxes where each year you're able to put like artwork and pictures in, and then that way when they get older they can have it and go through year by year. I don't think mine is as organized as year by year, but I'm just kind of throwing stuff in there for now. So that way I'm not like saving, like they come home with so much artwork and so many papers per day. That way I can just keep the ones that are the most memorable, I guess you could say. I also went on a really big organizing container kick where I was going to have all these containers. So right now I'm just emptying. I had emptied all the containers and then I'm going to use them elsewhere. But for now, I just want everything out of containers so that I can see what I have. And then when I like come back around and start reorganizing everything, then I will pull out some of these extra containers and then try and get them organized.
Your touch, baby.
But here's just the start of this little playroom. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. A lot of information. Next week I do have a decluttering video, and if you're not subscribed already, I would love for you to subscribe. So here's everything I am decluttering or donating, but I'll see you guys next week.